Hi everyone, my name is Rodney Smith. I'm here with BoardGameGeek at SPIEL 2019. I've been joined by Katie from Elf Creek Games, and you brought with you Atlantis Rising.
Yes, we have. I'm here to tell you a little bit about it. It's a cooperative worker placement game, which are two words you don't usually hear together a lot. It's cooperative
and you don't normally hear those
worker
together.
placement. I know. We figured out how to make it work.
Okay.
What's happening here is the beautiful island of Atlantis is going to be sinking. It is doomed. What we have to do is save our people. We're going to save our people. Actually, can you grab the box one more time?
Sure.
We're going to save our people by building this beautiful cosmic gate. We're doing that by harvesting all of the elements from this lovely island, if they could catch it.
Yes.
We have crystal in our forest, gold in our hills, iron or meteorite from our mountains that becomes Atlantium. Library cards help us out just like they do in real life. And then cities is where we get more people for our worker placement.
Okay, so we have every arm of this island has got its own unique resource that we can collect to build the gate.
Yep. Then we use our resources, build these components.
Oh, this is cool.
Once they are built, we flip them from their blueprint component side into their built side and lock it in. Once all 9 components are built and our power core is built, all of our people are saved. Now, it's very tricky because...
And I just want to mention, this is a dual layer board too, right?
It is.
So this is staying in place.
Everything stays in once it's all clocked in there. It's really neat. The way that it's cooperative is that each player is actually a special counselor of Atlantis. Okay. Each person starts out with 3 meeples for a 4 and up game. They're leader meeple and then 2 followers. And they'll use these people to place anywhere. The individual leader actually has a power that can help out their followers as well as everyone else's. And that is one of the better things about the 2nd edition of this game.
Right, because there was a version of this previously, right?
It was published in 2011, I believe. And then with Z-Man Games, then Elf Creek picked it up and worked with it a lot, developing not only how these guardian powers work together, but also the different kinds of guardians, and there are a lot of them.
Yeah.
How their powers work, a lot of balancing with the board to make it a truly cooperative experience.
Not to mention the production, which I think looks quite a bit different than
New
the
art
original.
by Vincent Dutray, which they love, and the Elf Creek guys tend to shy away a little bit from wooden cubes, so they really like these certain these pieces. Fun bits.
Okay.
So you all have to work together to be able to harvest these resources, and then you have to ask each other for help. It's a very complicated cooperative game, so you need to figure out how you can work together because what you do after you place your workers is then people suffer misfortunes taking something from the misfortune deck. Now, occasionally, I'm going to show cards to this camera here. Sometimes nothing can happen, and that's great. For the most part, though, you'll show what area on the island is going to be flooding, and it flips over like that. Or if you
these start to disappear, don't they?
Yeah.
To shrink in. Okay.
So you're trying to get the resources as the island tiles are disappearing. Sometimes you'll get a controlled flood, which means we have to agree on which tiles to flood as counselors, and sometimes some very terrible things can happen. The designers and also Vincent had a lot of fun coming up with not only what these very special misfortunes do, but also how they look, and they ended up extremely beautiful. And there's a weird dissonance because when you're playing this, you're like, oh no, this terrible thing has happened, but it's a gorgeous card. So I'm always just like, oh, this art's so pretty.
Poor Atlanteans, but look at this beautiful thing for my eyeballs to look at.
So eventually, usually what happens is it gets very, very close to oh my God, are we going to be able to get the resources? This island is disappearing. Usually, you're usually left with a donut of land.
Right.
You're not sure if you can get all of the resources, and what it becomes is a puzzle for how you can basically tag team and fit all of the counselor powers together so that you can help one another and basically hand resources off to one person, to one person, to one person to make the final thing.
Right.
It is a nail biter. You can, of course, turn down or turn up the hardness if you want by adding more of those controlled flood or more of those calm seas.
To the misfortune deck here?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, fans of the first game really appreciated it for its difficulty, and you can still find that challenge if you're into it.
Right.
What Elf Creek has helped with is the ability to make it a little bit more approachable for new gamers as well.
Well, I mean, I think it's important in a cooperative game, if everyone's winning in the first time of the gate, it sort of doesn't leave too much more to explore, right? So you want a little bit of that challenge, right, to have a reason to come back to it. And so the library cards, I assume, give you more beautiful artwork and some powers to
They
help
do,
you along the way, right?
yeah, to make maybe getting resources a little bit easier. They have some rule breakage in there as well.
Yeah.
One of the conceits of the game is that you cannot openly trade resources once you have them, unless you have a fancy library card.
Right, okay.
And then some of these special misfortunes can be directly countered by some library cards as well. And that's something I usually have to convince people in demos when I'm teaching it, is that going to your local library is always going to be great.
There's a hidden message here in this game.
Exactly.
Right.
There's a lot of hidden messages in this
Well,
game.
how many people does this play?
It plays 1 to 7. They developed
1
a
to 7.
solo mode,
Okay.
and we recommend not playing it for your first time on 7 people. But usually the sweet spot's about 4 to 5,
Right.
and if you're in for a challenge, then
Okay,
yeah,
then maybe go to
7.
7?
Yeah.
And when is this going to be available? Or is it available?
Excellent question. It's available for pre-order right now. We
Okay.
will have a limited number here at Essen. And then for our Kickstarters, it's going to come out, Brent, at the end of
November.
End of November is when our Kickstarter people are going to have it.
Excellent.
And then it's going to be available for retail a little bit later than that, a little
right.
bit later in the year, maybe
Now,
2020.
I'll mention one last thing. I noticed there's a play mat. Does that come in the box?
It does not.
I didn't think so.
No, the playmat is also available for
Yes.
pre-order, though.
Okay.
It's very pretty.
Something else people can pick up for the game if they want.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much, Kay, for giving us an overview of Atlantis Rising. And all of you, thanks for joining us and watching.